That's a little intense. I can never get used to that. What's up, everybody? Welcome and welcome back. This is Arts of the Round Table. My name is Mello on a very special episode of Arts of the Round Table. Not really. It's just a late night. It's just a late night stream. Thank you guys for joining me. If you do join me, what is up? And you know what? I'm gonna take that back. It is special. It is special. Happy Sunday. Happy every day, but happy Sunday. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Let's get it. I'm just doing a bit of, thank you, sweetheart. Doing a bit of housekeeping. So yeah, man. So today is it's a special to me. Let me change this camera angle because I'm going to do a little bit of work today on something of my own, something that I'm creating and building and it's a weird feeling. It's a weird feeling. It's one of those things that I'm not creating today as a fan of somebody else's work, even though that's kind of like not true, because I'm inspired by so many other artists that I follow and I've met. Artists that I admire online and that have passed, and those that I've met just yesterday. So let's do this. Yesterday on July 11th, I was in First Coast Comic Con, man. It was awesome here in Jacksonville. And I got to meet and see a lot of amazing indie and professional artists, and it was just it's so encouraging to see people, like-minded people, and speak to like-minded people and that are doing it. Anyway, so this is what I'm doing today. I'm working on my own. I'm working on a concept of a graphic novel that I am still currently writing. I am about 95% done with my first draft, and I am so in love with the process. I'm so in love with the characters that I'm creating that I want to do this live today as a way of encouragement, as a way of a milestone, as a way of a sign to keep going. You know, and to get it done. All the creators that I communicate with, they all say the same thing: stop talking about it and be about it. And this is a great way to embrace that. I think my glasses are dirty. To embrace that mentality of being about it, do it. So yeah, this is the cover I'm gonna start working on. These are my characters, my heroes. Some villains, but these are my heroes. They're all heroes in my story until you read it and find out who's who. But the name of the story is the title of the story is Ghost of Arlan. It follows a group of warriors, man. A group of warriors in this not so medieval time, but a time that it will be familiar. But I'll just let you know who the characters are. That's Ifo, female warrior. Her brother Enix. This gentleman over here is, for all intents and purposes, he is one of the villains. His name is Turtel. That is their uncle, the captain of the guard of Zorn, Kelbray. And in the center is this beast, the Ghost of Arlan. Or is he? Anyway. And that's a little bit more of visual development of what that beast is. And yeah, man, so I kind of farted this out earlier today. Again, I have been so inspired by the people that I follow, and I just wanted to put myself in that position of a creator, not just a fan and fan art. So I'm actually very proud. I'm just gonna keep going. I wanted to show you guys some of the some sketches I've done. You've probably seen these already. This is Efo, sorry, E-P-H-O, or brother, Enix, E-N-I-X, Kelbray, Turtel, and the Ghost. So I'm not gonna go too much into the story today. I'm just gonna draw. So why don't we do that? But I wanted to share with you guys some stuff that I've been working. I have been stuck. I haven't created a visual Bible yet for my characters. I'm still building them as I write them, and they're already done. So I'm fleshing out the way they look and appear to me, and it's going to make the story a bit more intimate for me. So I was still trying to develop her look and some of the look, although as pretty as she is. This is another study I did using different models, but I kind of dig this. It's been a while since I did some more realistic style or natural style color painting. I've been in the comic world for a while, so my colors have been a bit more vibrant, if anything. This character here, I drew this over a year ago, and I titled it Red Sonja because I didn't really have anything else to put behind the character of a barbarian woman, but it appears that my characters has been in my mind for quite some time, which is kind of awesome if you think about it. What's that? This is me still developing the look and the feel. Cute. So that's who. This will be about the second time it's another one of her. So what I've been trying to do more than anything as I develop the visual Bible for these characters is to do the vibe, the attitude of the characters. I don't want to just develop caricatures. I don't want to just develop, the hardened warrior who doesn't know how to, accept other people's order or whatever it is that, all the cliched tropes in those stories, in every story that we know and read about the warriors and siblings and things like that. So I'm gonna need a longer pencil. So I'm focusing more on vibe and attitude as I build a better class hero, apparently. And then later on, stick around, because something really cool is happening. Meeting these artists, guys. I've met and started communicating with an artist on Instagram called Jeff Kessinger. And I got to show you something that we're working together on. Or collaborating. I drew something and he's going to paint it, or has began to paint it. And I can't wait to share that with you. I think I'm going to keep these. Put this away. JOM. Good evening. How are you? If you're wondering what the tunes are, so I created a playlist using Sono, and of like adventure music and not barbarian, but very Conan-esque adventure style, action adventure music, and I've been using it to help me develop my story and characters and keep me in the thing. So that's what you're hearing. That's what I like to do. JOM says, starting on your graphic novel. Yes. I'm trying to do something a bit more, cement something a bit more. I think that'll help me visually. And the cat, yeah, heck yeah, yo. Those are the cries of our enemies. Hacha. All right, so let me. It might appear small on the screen in front of you, especially if you're on the vertical. If you have the screen real estate, if you're on your computer, I would recommend, if you would like to, switch over to the horizontal stream. The link is on there. and I can show you what I'm going to be using, or you'll be able to see the very rough image of the cover that I'm going to put together. So it's kind of small on the vertical, but if you like, I don't know if I'll keep that up there on the vertical the whole time. Maybe as I'm drawing in the section, but yeah. DW, welcome. Good evening, man. Thanks for coming through. I appreciate it. I'm glad you like the thumbnail. It made me laugh. On a very special Arts of the Round Table. But yeah, so if you guys can see the thumbnail on the left, on the right. So I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel with this thing. I just really wanted to get an idea out of my head. A classic cover, pinup style, whatever. So this was what I kind of ended up doing just to get it out. This is very Fright Night movie poster, if you guys remember. So I got my villain over here. All of the main characters are here. All 5 of my main characters are here. So what I did is I scanned it and I scanned it and I threw it onto Photoshop. You could use Photopea if this is the type of thing you guys do. And I cut it and stretched it to make it fit an 11 by 17 page. So I can stay consistent and I can see where I'm going to put my lines. And just to measure things out, what's the word I'm looking for? Compositionally. Like I said, it's not a very difficult composition. She's here. But what I want to do is I want to make sure I'm staying inside of my frame. So, plus the one thing I don't want for this to turn into to be like a huge technical techno babble about comics and things like that. So if you guys are hanging, I really do appreciate you guys being here. This is pretty awesome. Just say what's up. Tell me how your weekend was. While we mess around and have a good old time. Trying to go light here. One of the things I saw at the First Coast Comic-Con yesterday was such clean pencils and original artwork that was so beautiful. It makes me envious. It really does. It really does make me envious how they work, man. That professionalism. It's really nuts. Alright, so that's my center. I almost I don't draw this big all the time. I mean, this is something that I have been trying to work on myself. Alright, so she is about right there. So this is her real estate. I'm just making sure that she's here. Homeboy is over here. I think I'm going to make him a little bit bigger. He's going to be right here. And then, I think I can put the bad dude. What's 11 divided by 3? 3, 3, 3. Should we do 3 1/4? 3 1/2? Why not? That'll be my window. I'm just gonna I want to give my other players a place with ample time. That's one thing you guys gotta. I appreciate it. So JOM says technical talk is appropriate. I appreciate that. So I'm going to show you what I just did. I know it's hard to see because of the light. So I want to give every person their place on this board in terms of relevance, right? She's my main character, even though there's two. Ifo and her brother Enix are my main characters. There's two, like a sub-villain A and sub-villain B. They're taking the right side, so I made these squares perfectly for them, and in the center is going to be what haunts every one of them, which is the ghost, and that's where I can play, and it gives me enough space to really articulate and put some details there for his face. It's just going to be a face for now. Yes, thank you. The weekend was hot for DW. It wasn't it. It was hot. It was amazingly hot. It was a dry heat, as our boy Bill Paxton in Aliens would say. But it's a dry heat. The Comic-Con we went to was beautifully air conditioned. It was greatly appreciated. And let me see. I might go loose here. I just want to see if I can fit all this stuff in. But outside was almost 100 degrees, and even with that, there was people in cosplay, in full cosplay gear. A lot of Star Wars still. A little Loomis for y'all. Full cosplay suits, amazing gear. It was amazing. It was actually really fun. I've never been to one, to tell you the truth. All right. I never went to one. I went with my daughter, which was awesome. I just want to be able to make sure she's feminine enough. But I went as a fan, and I was kind of like hawking my wares in the sense, like I took my portfolio, took some of my best stuff, my most completed. I unfortunately could not get my most recent, like the Hulk and the Patch, but I had them in picture because it's just too much. But I was really hunting down certain people that I met online. Dan Bedrosian, guys, follow that dude's page. Dan Bedrosian, find him. Find Miles Curtis, who's an amazing writer. Find, if you haven't already, find Jim Rugg. I got to meet him and hang out with him and talk to him for a bit. He signed my Incredible Hulk Grand Design book. Yeah, I'll show you. Let me see. So yeah, this is Dan Bedrosian's book. Really cool dude. Found out that we're both Massachusetts massholes, as we say, which was really cool. Not that we're massholes, but that we're from the same place, kind of, sorta. And it was great talking to him. We're both fans of Rob Norton. If you guys don't know Rob Norton, make sure you go and follow his page. He's a comic creator and commentator. He has a great channel on YouTube. He draws live all the time. Make sure you check him out. And got to meet him. Got to meet Tony Aopi. Tony is an artist from down here, artist and writer from Florida, near Jacksonville. I can't remember where he said he was from directly, but we're close enough. And I reached out to him on Instagram, like, hey, are you a fellow Floridian? I'm a Floridian. I'm trying to rub elbows and talk to other artists near me and around me, and I need to know some more of the scene if this is what I'm trying to do. Although I'm not your atypical comic book creator, I'm not really. I'm just an artist that loves comics. and have stories and ideas, and I would love to collaborate and contribute with other artists and creators. And I thought, anyway, that was my goal. JOM asking what I did at the convention. That's what I did. I tried to hook up and meet with as many writers and artists, and go through their books and go through their stuff and steal ideas. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, he was really cool. I can't wait to talk to him more. Follow him on Instagram. I don't know if he has a YouTube page. I will be stalking him to find out. But if you guys want, go ahead and freeze frame that if you can, and take a picture of that QR. This is an amazing story about the civil rights movement here in St. Augustine, Florida, which is dope. Ginger Bear says, "What's up? How you doing, Ginger Bear? Pleasure to see you. Good to see you." And then Jim Rugg. I'm a huge fan of Jim Rugg. R.I.P. Ed Piscor. Man, if Eddie was around, it would have been dope if he was there. I got some, selfishly, I got some stuff that would have been great for him to sign. But alas, he smiles down upon us knowing that we are spending all our money on comics and creating comics. So, but yeah, check out your boy Jim Rugg's signature on that thing. It was really cool to talk to him and wax poetic on the old heads in the industries, the Kirbys, the Kuberts, and talking to him and seeing his passion for Steve Ditko, who, if you guys don't know, they just released this amazing artist edition of Steve Ditko's Spider-Man series, and it's like, I spent too much money on those. Maybe in the future, maybe if I'm a good boy, Santa Claus will hook me up this year, but I doubt it. Papa needs a new roof. I'd rather get a new roof than a new artist edition. But speaking to him about the techniques, it was really freaking weird and cool to see someone who I followed for since COVID, right? What's that? Almost 7-8 years now. Shake hands, talk about art, our love and appreciation for the old, the new, and the future. Come on now. It was dope. It was really cool. Greg Land was there. Anybody know about Greg Land? Greg Land is great because he gets trashed on for copying and swiping a lot of it himself, but a lot of it some other people. Yeah, he still gets a ton of work. And I had an opportunity. His table was kind of empty. I had an opportunity. They provided a poster. Where is it? Do I have it here next to me? Yeah. So the First Coast Comic Con, this thing was the poster for it. And so I bring up the copy and the swiping and stuff, because you would think with the way AI and all this stuff and the way that he has gotten hate online that people would be rubbing flipping their nose on him and stuff like that. Nah, man, that dude was cool. And his pencils are freaking cool, man. Some that I recognize, some that I have in my collection, comics of his that are in my collection at home. And I don't know why I didn't bring any of my books to see if he would sign them. Let me take this out the way. I thought that he was going to be kind of like a big deal, and no, I'm not going to do that. But I felt so silly. Don't do that, guys. Don't do what I did. Bring everything. And if they say no, make them say no. Don't say no to yourself. Don't be... FOMO is a pain in the ass. So don't do that. So yeah, that was his piece. I could have had this signed from him, but I'm like, I'm okay. Anyway. Greg Land. But can I tell you guys a weird story? Where is it? I didn't cross out his face, my daughter did. But this artist right here, Dean Haspiel. And don't at me. If you guys are family with Dean, don't at me. But yeah, real quick before I tell you a story about Dean, he was the first person that I met there, and I thought he was gonna set the tone because it was freaking weird. Um, but anyway, Amanda Connor was great. Jimmy was dope. Pete, I said hi to your brother. Greg Land was cool. Who did I meet? I spoke with Jim Rugg, Marty Keene. Yo, this kid right here, Marty Keene, amazing artist. Jamie Jones is cool as heck. His artwork looks like like animated. Oh, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not thumbnails. I'm drawing a blank. Storyboard. It's so beautiful. It's amazing. Kayla Valerio. Kayla Valerio's artwork. She does a thing with gesso and ink and white ink that blew my mind, and I think I was getting on her nerves because I really wanted to know, how are you doing that? Like, the effects that she was creating with it was so smooth. She was obviously using better paper than Bristol to paint, using gesso and the inks. She was using watercolor, some type of art, just roll. I was trying to get as much info from her as humanly possible. Everybody there was cool. Danny, of course, Danny Bedrosian, Tony Iommi was dope. And there was so many others that aren't in here that was kind of smaller, indie. Where's my phone? But anyway, and me, like a goob, I didn't take a picture with anybody. and then on my way home, I'm like, oh, I should have taken a picture. It's just one of those things, man. It's one of those things where that I don't want to be a bother, but that's the whole point of going there, right? You bother these artists and you pick their brains and you look at their art. But this cat right here, Shomari, what's his they don't say his full name, but that's gonna be check out that Wolverine. I know the light's too bright, it might be terrible, sorry, but anyway, go online, go to Instagram and check out shomari.illustrator, Shomari. Freaking cool, amazing young artist. It was really cool. Anyway, J.O. Mask, if I went, did I go over the story or characters of my graphic novel for today's video? Kind of. I went through a quick brief little story, brief little intro to my peoples. I might change this pose for her, cause I think it feels too butch. She is muscular. She's a bit stronger looking than Xena, if you guys remember Xena. She's a lot stronger than what Brigitte Nielsen looked like. Here, I'll show you my prelim. Like, she's athletic. She's big though, right? It's kind of like a rough. I am stuck with this interesting design for her hair. But, like I said, I don't have a visual Bible just yet. Everything is developing as I go. So, it keeps it a little bit freer for me. But I might change that, so. This feels really weird because it's mine. You know, there's nothing for me to it's actually really weird. There's nothing for me to fall back on. There's nothing for me to go and crib from. Yes, I can use these other things as references. I could go and you look at Brigitte, I could look at Xena's, I can look at all of those, but the fear I have. I'll start up here. I'll start on the easy stuff, because I think that's where I started. But that is mine, and I'm still trying to find them for me. Again, I don't know if that's how you're supposed to do it. So, my creators out there, what I ended up doing was creating a story with kind of like a blank visual, almost like placeholders. And now they're coming to, the more and more I write and the more I get close to the finish line, I'm beginning to see them. That makes sense. Is that weird? But this might be the very first time that I mean, I've recorded my drawings before, but for this, for them, for my creation, it's pretty it's a milestone for me. So why not? Why not? People like my homie Ginger there, Ginger Bear, who's a creator in his own right. If you guys ain't following him, you're doing yourself a disservice. He's an amazing artist and an amazing professional. So, and I'm trying to earwig him so I can do some fan art for him. I think collaborating with artists is different. That's one thing that I kind of got out of that Comic-Con yesterday. I think collaborating with writers is a lot easier. I think a writer is a little bit more, well, from the people that were there. It's easier for them because they see the creative. I think that other artists, just specific tight artists that maybe they don't write their own stuff, they're there for the craft. They really want you to buy their stuff. No, I really don't want to talk to you about how I did that. It's kind of like what I felt. Oh, and I gotta tell you about that Dean story. And I don't know if I should, because I don't even know how to put it into words. So it was really cool to meet. Let me move this down so you guys can see. I'm working on that face. But it was good. I don't know if you guys remember about my fears for when on Friday when I was mentioning it about wanting to hear creative, harsh, creative critiquing of my artwork. You know, I think the thing I didn't want to just hear was, "Oh, it looks great," which is kind of weird. But I didn't get a lot of critique besides, "Hey, it was great." The only thing was Kayla Valeria that said, "Ooh, that's thick," and I'm like, "Yeah, but thank you though." All right, I need space for the uncle here, and I need space for the villain here. It's all about symmetry, man. It's all about having it visually appealing to the eye. So yeah, where was I? Lost my train of thought. I'm gonna say it was fun. It was really cool to see people. It was really cool to see the cosplayers. A lot of Japanese manga inspired cosplay. So that was cool. Thank you, JOM. JOM likes them thick. But yeah, I'll tell you guys about the story. So the title of the story is The Ghost of Arlon. And in this world, it's a very familiar world to the one that we are in. These people do believe in God and the devil. There are mysticisms and they believe and know that trolls and elves and that type of stuff exist. So it's not like they'll see something of mysticism and freak out. They just accept that is the world, and I'm gonna make it that it's accepted in that world like that. There's these two, I guess, warring villages or peoples. Turtle here on our left is the leader of the Arlens. Peaceful, whatever, you know how it is. And the dude over here, Calbray, is the guard and the of the villagers of Zorn. There's nothing worse than coming up with the names. I'll tell you guys when all is done how I got the name of this stuff. You're gonna laugh. And then there's the ghost. The ghost here is this almost mythical. He's basically the only beast right now that haunts anything in that world. Nothing can stop him. Unstoppable creature. And although he or it dwells where Turtle and his people are, they do not control it. He just inhabits where they are, which gives them power. And he is consumed by this mineral, this stone, like a gold and an ore. That's basically the doohickey, the thing that can do anything. When it's pure, it's called denizen. When it's pure, it's called benison. Benison meaning bendición or blessing, meaning grace. So it's good, it's medicine, it's healthy. When it's corrupt, it becomes brimstone. And when it's corrupt, it can heal. Kind of like the way morphine can heal. And it's overpowering. So, he has been consuming it for years, or it has been consuming it for years, to the point where he has no nose. So he can't block. He can't block his nose. It's always consuming that. And it's attracted to fighting, and it's attracted to fear, and it's attracted to all of those extreme emotions. So the village of Arlon uses it as best they can because they control the brimstone. So there's peace. There's an uneasy peace. An easy peace in this world. And one of the villages they have that uneasy peace with is our heroes, which is Zorn, led by the captain. The captain and his niece and nephew. His niece is our hero, the Shield Maiden of Zorn. Captain in her own right, general in her own right, young, early 20s. And her brother, not twin, just younger, named Enix. Well, Well, so the story starts that years ago when they were young, their father, the sibling's father, who was the leader, and then there's no kings in this village, but they're assigned leaders just based on their stature and their strength and abilities and that type of stuff. On the end of his guard, he was ready to retire. Finished raiding, finished pillaging, whatever it is that these people do, very Viking-like. Hangs up his sword and shield at the local barracks or inn or bar and goes home. Greeted by his wife and his young children at the time, 11-year-old Epho, 9-year-old Enix, ready to continue the rest of his life as a dad and a homesteader, whatever it is we try to do. But the past comes and finds him in his home at his weakest. During that struggle, people die, people escape, the twins escape, not knowing the full fate of their dad. Did he die? Did he live? We don't know either. That is our intro to the story. Jump cut for them being older and always curious and wondering what happened to their dad. Do. So it's a mystery in the back end that haunts them, especially the daughter. Because she was the oldest, and in this world it doesn't matter if the oldest is the boy or girl. Just the oldest, you are the next one. So she has that weird weight of trying to protect and be strong, which is what made her so big. That ability to fight and protect as much as she could, but she loses a lot. Not necessarily in fights, but she can't always protect those around her. And she's always felt that weight because of seeing her dad and her youth get taken away from her. All right. I am actually using several images of an actor, Wes Studi. You guys know Wes Studi, the Native American actor, amazing actor. He was in Last of the Mohicans. He was, what was his name? Mystery Man. And that's Turtel. It is sad. I think that we are built sometimes by the sad stuff that happens around us. Fortunately, some of us grow up with great parents that we lose at a young age. Some of us have terrible parents that we have for our lifetime. He has a scar that splits his face, which may change, because I don't want people to be like, oh, that's conquest. So anyway, the mystery that the kids end up growing up with is they're trying to figure out what happened to their pops, because their home, where they were, was only the people around him would know. It was he wouldn't be, it wouldn't have been easy to sneak up on Pop Dukes if he was inebriated off of meat or not. It just wouldn't happen. So there's a weird underlying conspiracy in the back end of what happened. Was he betrayed? Was he hubris? Was he just too proud? He didn't realize that he was being followed? That type of stuff. So those type of questions haunt our heroes. And their uncle, who would have been the next in command, and who is, because Pop Dukes is gone, he took care of them. So although he's a good dude, it casts doubt on him. So there's going to be a lot of layers, man, a lot of layers. It casts doubt on him, but it's too good. They're going to get lost in this dude's beard. Yeah, the butler, the uncle. So that is so you get the intro of basically uh, that we meet the dad, we suffer the way he suffers, and then it's a time jump with the kids are older, just trying to live, trying to figure it out, asking questions, asking the wrong questions, or asking the right questions and getting the wrong answers. This isn't going to be a huge epic. I'm not trying to do that to myself. I'm going to let you guys know right now, the original story, the original concept was a non-dialogue 5-6 page concept, same era, some of the same characters that ended up developing into what seems to be right now a 15 chapter roller coaster. But not so big that I can't keep track, I hope. And not so small that it's not impactful. And I think one of the coolest things that's happening to me as I'm going through this, instead of it becoming I wonder if I can, because I am doing, it becomes a like, man, I'm really feeling for these characters, these heroes and villains, heroes that are doing villainous things and villains that are doing hero things. There's a lot of gray in this world. I'm like, okay, I can do it, I can dig it. It's notes and scripts. So what I'm doing is, which is kind of weird, I don't know if this is the way, but this is what I'm doing. So what I'll do is I'll write a very, very rough 2-3 paragraphs of and then he did, and then she did, and then they did, and this happened, that type of stuff. And then I'll look at it a bunch of times and then start placing dialogue between the characters to make it fit, to make it work that way. So this is very rough. First draft, not rough. First draft. I really don't foresee much change. I only see growth in it. But if I had to stop a couple of times to reread and go, oh yeah, that's right, I did do that. You know, it'd be cool, and then look back, oh, I can't do that. I can't. I would have to change too much. Like with one of the things that changed was the stone, the brimstone. The brimstone and the benison. That plot thread. You know what? This dude is smiling kind of evil there. I like that smile. You know, it'd be really cool to show, because his face is kind of tore up, to see like a gap in his skull here. No toot. How often have I done page layouts? Very little. Very, very little. That was going to be my next step. When I finish the draft and I finish all the dialogue, and I'm gonna rewrite it with page layouts in mind. Some of the stuff I'm writing, I am keeping in mind page turns, like that type of stuff, like trying to pace my story. Cliffhangers after a certain chapter or a certain page or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like that. It's going to be interesting. I think from the stuff that I have put down, idea-wise and panel-wise, like I'll say this panel, I'm putting down way... my panel count is too high. Way too high. Per page, per story. And I'm looking at a lot of comic books, new and old, and I'm beginning to see how to, for instance, my characters are dismounting a horse, and there's conversation between the three characters, the sister, the brother, and their uncle, and they're dismounting or mounting their horse, and I don't need to, she dismounts, he dismounts, uncle approaches, that type of, horse neighing, close up of this. I know that I don't need that to tell my story. That a really cool dynamic shot, or not even dynamic, just a nice properly compositional shot of them. Maybe she's dismounting, brother still adjusting, uncle standing, and the dialogue moving, flowing. So I'm taking those notes, mentally notes, and I'm writing, as I've been developing the story, I've been having those mental, I don't know the expression, like side notes. Like writer mail or artist mail go like, bruh, slow down with the panels, bruh. I am following Rob Norton and Saboteur from Charlie from Saboteur Comics. They have already really rough thumbnails of most of their pages, but they are starting out as artists that way. It's really weird. An artist, how can I put it? An artist is not an artist, not an artist. I don't know if that makes sense. Because I focus so much on pinups and cover style artwork of just like the action shot and that single image and impact, I kind of held myself back in the art of narrative storytelling and sequential art. I focus too much on telling the story through one singular panel. Like, it could be done. If my story was shorter, it could be done. Then I can make amazing diptychs or single pages with dialogue. They used to do that too. One amazing piece with the dialogue to tell the story. Bernie Wrightson doing the Stephen King Silver Bullet is very much like that. Dialogue, turn the page, beautiful spread. Anyway, so, yeah, man, I'm constantly learning and adapting, and this is what makes this so cool. It looks a lot more evil than I expected. How many villains? I like that face, though. I gotta, it's really encouraging. I know that this is not gonna be easy for me. I just know it, and I'm okay with that. But I am at that age, guys and gals, that you gotta get it done, man. You got people passing unexpectedly, you know? Boom, do. So, and I can. What's really amazing is that I have a resource of artists out there that I can ask. I really can, and I think most of them would respond and say, "Yeah, you're hurting yourself," or "That is the way," or they'll give me sound advice. I just know it. So I know they would help me out. But yeah, but I went to the Comic Con more of a pill for my wares. Hey, I'm an artist. Do you need an artist? That type of stuff. I'm looking to collaborate or whatever. If you have a project, this is what I do. Show them my piece. I had a great response to my artwork, so that felt good, and I had really good conversations, which was more important. Yeah, I'm digging that face, man. I've been watching. You guys watch The Bear? If you don't know about The Bear, it's it stars Jeremy Allen White. What's his name? Mr. Bacharach there? I forget his first name. The dude that played Ben Grimm and many others. And I'm gonna tell you something. I I was watching that with an artist's mind, and I was watching. I'm streaming it to catch up to the latest episode or the latest season. And as an artist, I'm watching it like, is that what you want to do? Because guys, to be an artist, to compare being an artist, a full blown artist, either this way or culinary artist, there's certain things that you'll need to do every day, and it's something that a lot of non-artists don't understand. And it's something that, as I was watching today's episode, the repetitiveness of it all, just so that you can reimagine how to cook a steak, how to cook a burger, as a creative artist, how to draw Batman different, how to draw Superman different, Spider-Man, or your own creations using very similar ingredients. And I was talking to my wife like, man, I need to go into my kitchen here and I need to chop more carrots. I need to chop more onions, chop more celery, chop every day. I need to be in here creating a memoir, guys. One thing that really, when I speak to young artists, in this one more the younger in age artists, that goes, how they always ask you, how long did it take you to get this good, or how long. They're the ones that have never been in the kitchen. They're the ones that have never been in the kitchen. They're the ones that haven't cut themselves, cutting onions, cutting carrots. They're not the ones that have sat and cross-hatched for hours, not even on a piece, just to get muscle memory in the hand. And they ask because they want the answer to be, no man, just throw it in the microwave. Oh, a couple months. No man, that takes years. Years. And they're always learning. They're always studying. And how terrible it is to be a good chef and get awarded. Like, man, I know that show doesn't represent all the chefs and all, but it represents, in my opinion, all artists. You know what would be the worst thing to happen? One of the best and worst things to happen to me, if I finish this piece, I finish my graphic novel, and in 5-6 years I finish it completely, and it's in the market, and it becomes a hit. Get an Eisner and whatever the heck they give to artists, because it's never, and then that's it, right? It always becomes, what have you done for me lately? Oof. How much success do we want? Because if it's success you're looking for, and we are looking for success, really, right? We want some acknowledgement for what we're doing. That's a fact. From ourselves, from the world, from our family. Guys, man, we're just making burgers. We're just making steak. We're cutting steak. We're making lamb. So please, man, if this is you, don't stop cutting onions, carrots, and celery. Reduce that sauce, man. Make it good. I know that's a weird segue and tangent, but it just, like, it was a weird epiphany. It made me really think about what I wanted to do. it really kind of like, what the hell, brother? Is this what you want, man? And then yeah, man. Alright, the uncle's the weirdest one. I forget the actor's name. He's an English actor. He played Balin? He played Balin the dwarf in oh Lord, in The Hobbit. He's played many other things, but I think he's recognized more for that. He's mentally what I have in mind for the uncle. That's too much nostril there. He's too mean. I don't want him to look mean. He needs to look kind of like he's looking over his shoulder. But anyway, I say that because that's what I get from watching Ginger Bear, and that's what I get from watching Saboteur, and that's what I get from watching Omer, and that's what I get from watching Dude, this new guy that I started following called Pencils for Life. It's great that we're all like superheroes. We don't have nobody says uses their real name except for Rob. They're constantly on screen cutting onions, man. I use that as metaphorically, but showing their craft. Not only that, then they go ahead and show you how to make that, why they're using those ingredients. See, that's what's cool too, DW. I want to do the same thing. This is very much a bucket list thing for me. A life fulfillment as a comic book fan. One, but as an artist to be able to do something like this, and for me, even if nobody sees it, if it's one of those things that's like, hey man, come here, check out this book. I did that. I feel you, man. And you know what's really cool is that those artists, the guys I just mentioned, the stuff that they're doing is for them. You hear it a lot. I just wanted to get it done. It was earwigging me. It was bothering me, and I think that's awesome. And that's what this is for me. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm a sensitive dude, but reading some of the stuff, not because I'm a great writer, was but because I was actually doing something that was mine, was very emotional. Like watery eyed, even like reading back and seeing it, reading back what I wrote and actually seeing it cohesively and makes sense and narratively makes sense in my mind. I'm like, I kept getting this thing like, you're doing it, kiddo. Keep going. So I thought I was gonna hit a snag, because I'm at a bridge here near the end. That's one thing I wanted to make sure though when I was writing this thing. Oh, pencils with the 4. Pencil number 4, life. Sorry. What's that saying? Get emotional, blah blah blah, big old baby, reading my stuff, not because it was good, but because I was doing it, keep going. Yeah, man. And I thought I was going to hit a block because it was going gangbusters, and it was really friggin' flowing. Things were working out. Oh, that makes sense. It's happening. I can see that. Because I want to make decisions make sense, and anyway. And I also didn't want to keep writing it to the point where I'll never finish. So I had a conclusion. I actually have the ending. All of it. Visually, all of it. Can you guys see that okay? Should I zoom in? Do. I don't want to go through the trope of, because these are all warriors and fighters, that they all have scars, but scars are cool. So yeah, I got my ending, but right now I'm trying to find the bridge. The bridge for the climactic battle. For the ultimate. The questions all get answered. The revelations are done. Because it's all cool when you go, and then, this all and it's like, but brother, that don't make sense. Nobody says that. Nobody speaks like that. So doo-doo-doo. But it has been fun, and it's been uh, amazing. It's the reason why I have changed my my streaming schedule, and I don't stream. I keep saying I keep Freudianly saying scream. I don't stream on Tuesdays and Thursdays because I use those days to focus on writing for a couple hours. And I'm very kind of nerdy about it. Alarm goes off, bloop. I come into my office. I put this music here, this soundtrack here, on some headphones. See, now he looks too cute. He looks too cute, don't he? He's very Saint Nicholas-esque. It's too cute. The eyes are too big. Let's shrink those eyes. Right? Big eyes means cute. And he's old and weary, so we need more bags under his eyes. Yeah, DW. That's one of the things that I have struggled a lot, um, which is why the Christmas story that I had set up, I made it so short. It's done and everything, dialogue and everything, which is kind of weird because there's not much dialogue. It's a lot of like '80s bravado BS, you know. um, and there's only one setting, right? It's a bar. Very little characters. Our heroes, the person they're trying to save, and the no good nicks. And I was doing that, and that's why when I started this story, or the concept to this, I wanted to do that small, and it just kind of like it just kept going. If you're not a writer, I'm not a writer. Uh, it's the tediousness. I'm an idea factory, you know. Uh, but it's the tediousness of coming up with the concept and then writing it. I don't know how. Anyway, I don't know how writers do it, but they live in that world for a while. There's a reason why I was collecting all of those Conan books. I love looking at those. And believe me, I'm going to be stealing a lot of the foreground, background, and maybe even some of the inking that they did to rough up my pencils. I've done stuff like that. I've done synapses before. Like you said, beginning, ending, that type of stuff. Yeah, the idea factory. The actual writing is factory's closed. Doo-doo. So, there's a potential. As a side note, a potential future project, man, with one of the people that I met at that Comic-Con. I'm so excited for it. I wish I could say more, but I'm not going to say anything. And I'm saying that it's potential. And he's a writer that has done layout art. And that kind of like intrigued me because I I think one of the things that I struggle with, as I already said, is the sequential part of narrative storytelling. And I'm like, bruh, in my mind, if you want to do the layouts, that could be a great way for me to cut my teeth into narrative storytelling and just go over your layouts, see if I can find a rhythm through the panels and layouts. Anyway. Alright, I'm going to actually, because I don't want them all to blend, I'm going to actually put him in shadow. So we can see more of the ghost of Arlon. And one of the things I'm going to have to learn how to do is draw faster. Just to get the composition and the stuff on the page. Faster. Get it faster, and then worry about the details later. Like this right here, it helps that I've already did a rough earlier. But... And it's kind of it's still in my flavor of pinup or cover. So I haven't strayed too far away from my comfort zone just yet. Because, and I'll show you guys, I have them there. When I was doing the sequential stuff for my Christmas story with the elves, it's kind of like I lost myself in there, and I was drawing everything. It took too long, and everything was supposed to be a masterpiece, and I just couldn't get my ideas on the page fast enough. So that became daunting. I'm going to shade this guy's face too, just to mimic what's happening. Ooh. Shoot. See, look what my honey brought me. Ooh. What are these downs? I think there's peanut butter, oatmeal, some chocolate chip. No chocolate chip. Should be making these bomb-ass cookies. Bomb-ass cookies. Thank you, DW. The thumbnails of the pages, and then someone else goes through and finishes. Hope that works. Yeah, me too. Because I was pretty clear, hey man, I don't do that. But we hit it off so well. And like I said, in this game, you have to be true to yourself. True to yourself and what you can and can't do. It's okay to push. That's the point. Push, baby. But if it's potential work, not the time to fake it till you make it. And be honest, if he's the type of dude, hey, you want to do, I only do this type of work. If you're willing to do a couple of pages of layouts, let's see how that, if it's successful, and if it comes out bomb, that becomes a relationship that can last a while. Marvel's done it a ton. Kirby's done it a ton. You know, he was doing layouts and they wasn't paying him as an artist because of it. That's terrible. But I'm not that dude. We share credits. It's your story. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself with that, but I'm gonna let God take care of that. I guess I should give him a scar. Scars are cool. But I don't wanna. We'll give him shadow on the eyes. See, he still looks cute. It could be the nose. The nose not bulbous enough. I have to share this with you guys. Give me a second. I gotta transfer it to my computer. Oh man, because I know it'll glare too much. There's an artist that I met through Instagram and stuff like that by the name, I mentioned him earlier, of Jeff Kissinger. And he liked my artwork. We got to chatting. I like he's an amazing oil painter. He does gouache oil painter, and he was like, he liked this drawing here of Batman and Catwoman, and he's like, I want to collaborate. I want to paint it. I was like, okay, I don't care. That's cool. I'm not so tight with my stuff that. Let me change the name of this here. Oh, we got it. And I'm like, okay, I would love to see that. His work. I felt honored to have him ask. Bats and cats. Bats and cats. I actually had this already saved, but I'll do it again just for quickie sake. Bats and cats. Rough draft. Anyway, he started painting it. I sent it to him yesterday. I was on cloud 9 yesterday, so I'm like, yeah, man, here. We was talking about it on a Friday. Sent it to him on a Saturday afternoon. Going back and forth. Let me show you guys what this thing looks like. It's very rough. No judging. But it is so cool. Where are you? It'd probably be huge. Let me see. Blap. Look how small. I'm gonna put it right here. Check this thing out. How cool is that? And this super rough. You can't judge it for that way, but man, that's cool looking. Check this out. If you're on the Insta, Jeff.Kissinger, Kesinger. Amazing oil painter. This thing blew my mind when I saw it. It's so different from what I had in mind, and it just wowed me. It really did make it wowed me to see just the rough. Man, I don't know what he's using. I don't think he's using. Yeah, I think he is using oils for this. He asked me 2 questions about my inspirations, or if I used if it was original. I was like, yes, it's original, but I'm heavily inspired, obviously, by Tim Burton's Batman and the animated series. And earlier today, he sent me some snapshots. He's a sweet dude. He's like, hey, I want you to see this so that you won't think I'm a I'm a scammer or anything like that. And I'm like, that's what scammers would say now. But I'm like, okay, now these aren't my characters. So I'm not so tight. They're not my babies that way. But man, what he's doing to it just really did put a smile on my face. It was really cool to see. I'm so proud of this stuff, and it's not even ready. I can't wait to see how it comes off when it's done, and what he adds to it, because that was one of the things that I said about the piece. I was like, Don't let my inspiration for it change whatever you see in it. Whatever it was that he saw to make him want to paint it in the first place and ask to paint it in the first place. I made sure to say, do not, just do you. Whatever it is, you make it your own. That's what I want to see. Don't change anything about how you paint to try to match. Jeff, Jeff KESINGR on Instagram. I don't think he has a YouTube. I don't think he does. But his stuff on Instagram on that handle is more fine art stuff. Where did I put my phone at? Let me make sure I gave you the right name. But I mean, it really was cool. God is good. Jeff Kissinger. Go to his page. You found him? Awesome. Yeah, he's from Missouri. I went to show. That one? That should be his first page here. And it was funny because when he asked me, I looked through his stuff and I'm like, why would... This is beautiful stuff. What are we doing here? It's not... But you can never say no. I don't... How can I put it? It's surf and turf, man. Let him... let it happen. So... Sweet dude, cool dude, man. I hope it's... I would love to try to do something to reciprocate somehow. I can't wait to see it. I hope it's the beginning of something fantastic. And do more of it. I'm a fan of his. I don't know. I always put myself in a spot where it's like, they're better painter than me, and would they want me to paint something for them? Don't do that. Don't do what I do sometimes, guys. But yeah, this is great. I was so happy to see this. I really was. Make sure to let them know. Alright, how we doing here? My old dude here seems a little bit too cute, but it's coming along. I think I'm going to add some wrinkles. The heavy, what is it? Heavy is the head of the crown? Is that the expression? Alright, so. Something like that. Maybe if I draw that closer, that's a bit closer. Are we done here? Did we play our whole thing? That's what's up. Firsties, I want to thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I know this is not a normal, a normal stream, so thank you. It's just life is happening, and I'm needed to be up and around at this time. Link, how you doing, Link? Appreciate that. Ooh. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you for popping in. How was your trip back from New Mexico? Hope the family's good. So, but yeah, like I was saying, thank you guys so much for being here. It's such a, on a very special. I thought that was so funny and goofy. I'm glad I did it. I'm glad you guys got the humor out of it. But I am drawing the concept piece, poster or cover, to my own graphic novel. That's it. That is it. I'm talking about like it's done. The Ghost of Arlan. And these are my main characters. The beast in the center, that is the Ghost of Arlan. That is the shaman Tortel. He's the leader in the village of Arlan. And a rival village enemies. The captain of Zorn, Kelbray. And down here is going to be the main heroes. The daughter Ifo, a powerful warrior, and her brother, a tactician and field general, the eyes of an archer, Enix. And I really don't have a visual piece for him yet. Just know he's going to be slimmer, younger. Oh, my alarm's going off. But he is an archer, and I actually have, I don't have it in the screen there, but I actually have a picture of of Kevin Costner as Robin Hood. I know he'd be getting trash for that movie. I actually enjoyed Robin Hood with Kevin Costner, even if his accent was trash. But so was Christian Slater's accent. But that was my introduction to Snape. What was his name? Alan Rickman? Shoot the gloss. He didn't say that there, but he would say he would stab you with I'll gut you with a spoon. He was great as the sheriff of Nottingham. Can't wait for the comic. Me either. This is the day one of what's going to be several years, I'm sure, for my celebrated epic. Maybe I can get enough money to hire artists to do the narrative for me, while I do covers and pinups, do all the hero stuff, and get a real artist out there. But it's really exciting. Here, I'll show you guys some. Like I was saying earlier, I'm building the visual Bible for my characters right now and what I want them to look like. Like I didn't even know what I was gonna make this guy, the beast, the Ghost of Arlan, what he was gonna look like, because it's ever changing, and he has like crud and tar all over his body. It's just he's consumed and possessed by this gross mineral that I call brimstone, that gives them energy, and it makes them enjoy all the hateful things in life. And he's very brutish and uncontrollable. He's consumed by the emotions around him, and it just makes him violent. Too much love makes him violent. Too much hate attracts him, and it makes him violent. All that stuff. And although it dwells in this guy's village, he does not control him. It's a lot, guys. There's a lot. And this guy here is the captain of the rival village, and he's been protecting and taking care of his dead brother's niece, or his missing brother's niece and nephew, the main characters. Let me move that over. But yeah, JOM Catwoman is as fine art, dude. It made me laugh. It made me so proud to see it that way, though. All right. I'm trying to work on the old dude here, because I don't want him to look too... He's old. But he was looking too cute. His eyes were too round. Lower the music. I'm gonna change the music to a little bit more chill. Something a little bit more chill, like jazz. That's another thing. These soundtracks that I'm creating are helping me. So I got a jazz soundtrack here that I'm gonna be using, and hopefully it'll help me develop something in the future. But here, I'll show you some of my initial sketches of my female hero. Gotta have it at least moderately suspicious. Find a balance. Who, the uncle? Yeah, moderately suspicious. Yeah, because the idea is to have us believe certain things and then, or make prejudgments, as we all do as humans. We all prejudge everybody. We prejudge people by the way they dress, talk, and look. Some goober. Alright, so, segue. Dan Haspiel, an artist that was at the Comic-Con. As we're talking, he says to me, Where is your accent from? I'm like, what? Where's your accent from? I'm like, I don't understand. He goes, you sound like you're like from New Orleans or something. I'm like, no. I was born in Massachusetts, or Bostonian. No. He's a linguist, apparently. No, it's not that. I'm like, I am Puerto Rican. Maybe it's the Spanish accent mixed with the Bostonian accent. No. My friend's Puerto Rican and you don't sound Puerto Rican. I'm like, okay. So the guy's an authority on that too. But then he says, you sound like someone who strung somebody up on a rope, and as you're watching them swinging, you're playing the banjo. I was like, what the hell? This was said to me, to my face, with my daughter next to me. I'm like, what the hell? So what the hell? Anyway, don't prejudge people, because that is, I didn't even know how to take it. Thank you for your time. We're on to the next booth. Thank you, sir. No, I will not be buying your comic. But what the hell, guys, my friends? Do I sound like I lynch people? I don't even know how to take. I don't even know how to take that. I don't even know how to rationalize it. And my daughter and I, on the way home, we had like a small pause of silence in the car, and my daughter and I are very similar. We appreciate silence. There's no such thing with her and I and the people in my house with uncomfortable silences. Uncomfortable silences for us just means that we're so comfortable with each other that we don't even have to say anything. Anyway, after our silence, I said to her, what the hell was up with, and she cut me off. What the dude? We was basically simmering about the same thing. Yeah, we literally just said, hey, this is me, this is my artwork, what do you do, this, that, and the other. And while we was chit-chatting, that's what he hit me with. I don't know, guys. The world's a weird place. Yeah. I'll take a sip of whatever that guy was drinking. This is just Earl Grey. I'm sorry. The worst part of it, yes, it's an extremely bizarre thing to say. I didn't understand. I didn't understand where it came from. It was just kind of weird. But anyway, it was the first person we spoke to. So it's like, oh man, the devil's a liar. I'm like, is this what this place is gonna be like? No. One bad apple does not ruin the bunch. We just moved on. I said, okay, thank you for your time. Peace. Peace. So, these are some visual representations as I segue to peace. You would have told him he was next. Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, man, let me go get my banjo, bro. How much you weigh? Yeah, it was Link. It was kind of like, what the frick? Yeah. Anyway, he'll be all right. He's from New York, so no, I'm just kidding. I love New York. I have New York peoples. I got family in New York. Got friends in New York, so it has nothing to do with New York. That dude was just yeah. That's a him problem. That's a him problem. Anyway, let's segue to something better. So this is some of the visual SMB building the visual Bible for my characters. This is my main character. One of the things that I didn't want to do with her is sexualize or victimize or weaponize my female character. I grew up single mom for most of my life and 2 sisters, so I been around a lot of very strong-willed and powerful women of all shapes and sizes, my wife being one, my daughter being the other, many of my aunts, many of my cousins. So one of the things that I wanted to represent in my female character was someone who was physically intimidating but still beautiful in nature, and she gonna wipe the floor with you. She gonna mama bear that thing, and but still feel vulnerable and still feel objectify. All of those. No, man, I didn't objectify one yet. So it wasn't that. It was and she loves in my story. She loves and she's passionate about people she cares for. But it wasn't like I'm not the take me type. No thanks. That's not real. I didn't want to be man writing a woman to, like he said, objectify or make them something. She is the main character of my story for a reason, and she's dope to me. And it's very I'm oddly falling in love in a way with the idea of this character, and falling in love with the way I can envision her responding to trauma and pain and moving forward and those questions, and it's very weird, and it's really cool. She's cool. This was actually a nude model and painting that I did, and then in the end of it, put the chainmail on. It was just something that I didn't think of it that way, in the sense of, oh, it's nude, it's supposed to be, like you said, objectify. It was just building of the figure and molding the figure and finding her in the character in here. And it just didn't make sense in the end to keep it that way. So let's put the chainmail or put something on. I'm still trying to figure out the type of armor and clothing for my character, so chainmail was the easiest thing, but I didn't want Red Sonja vibes. She short hair, long braid that she hasn't cut in over 10 years, but yeah, it's, and because it's been maybe a year since I've went with realistic skin tones and textures, this was a great exercise for me to just stop and get realistic on something that is not real. So it was actually really cool to do while keeping that in mind. And I'm going to do more stuff like this, and I will be sharing that with you guys. This is one I did, but I had my character in mind, but she is a bit too delicate, in my opinion. But it's still part of the, I don't chuck it because it's still part of the evolution of my character, so I keep that in mind. I would love to try to paint this. I might need some tips. I gotta ask some painters and what's one of the things that you guys would consider. I think I went too dark with my wash, with that acrylic wash, because it pulled up a lot of the blue pencil. Yeah, so that's one of the action shots that I wanted to, like, I still wanted to find beauty in her, and still, she will fold you. She is a tall woman. She's a big woman. But I like that shot. And it's difficult because of some of the poses and the figures you find online. It's something that I said earlier today. To one of my kids, I think it was like, I've never seen so many people that hasn't held a sword show you how not to hold a sword. Does that make sense? Like, it's not difficult, but you can really tell in some of these poses from female and male figures, from some books, like from the art model collection and some anatomy collections, that they have no idea. It's not a staff, it's not a stick. There's a weird and a very specific way that these type of materials are used, and you can tell they don't know how to use it. But this model had an amazing shot, and the thrust is something that I'm like, that I dug it. I just had to boof her out a bit. So if I'm using reference, I definitely gonna have to keep that in mind on the physique of the figure, not making it too exaggerated, but yeah, you already know. And this was one of those where the character, the model, she was even holding two swords, two of them, for whatever reason, and it was still not the way I would have done it, but it's all right. It's all right. The original model's face was leaning to the right here, and I originally drew it that way, and I could not find my character in it, and it was because the way the model was more of a romanticized pose. I'm not gonna say it wasn't like a sexy pose, but it was more of a romanticized, kind of like, oh. And I'm like, that's not her right now. That's not her. So I had to change the face, and I don't even mind that her features are covered, her nose and her mouth. You don't need to see those. I think if I can tell you the story with the eyes, I'm gonna do it that way. But I needed to practice on perspective and proportion. Let me move this up. Perspective and proportion, even though it's not extreme, and how to use an existing figure and make him a bit more muscular without removing the femininity and the softness. But it's like trying to make a square into a circle. You want the strength of the square, but wanting the curves and the allure of the sphere. So, how's that? Guys, chop onions, carrots, and celery. I keep doing this. That's a weird habit that I have when it comes to hair or these weird flourishes and it's a bad habit that I can't remove. All right. Back to this guy. So that's her. I haven't done much on her brother, Enix. Not that he's any less interesting to me, but unfortunately, guys are guys. You know. So he is an archer, a tactician. So he'd probably be slim, a little younger. So we'll see how that goes. And the rest are kind of although I'm trying to avoid tropes and stereotypes in terms of these type of characters, I think I'm not gonna have much of a choice. I'm gonna have to find an artist, an actor or someone that has a unique mug. Again, I can't remember this dude's name. I think it's Graham. It's gonna kill me. I'm gonna have to write it down. Give him some mutton chops. Old dudes used to love mutton chops back in the day. Oh yeah, big bad Barda. I'm a huge fan of Barda. I just want him to look. I need him to look tired. I need him to look tired, weary, and just as good as he is to them. Are you hiding anything, Uncle? Are you telling us something that is something you know? Is there maybe? Are you misunderstood? Oh, you're welcome. I do not mind. Like I said, I do not mind sharing. I do not. It was, I don't know what I'm doing. Shoot, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm sure there's a ton of armchair quarterbacks out there going, ugh. But hey, man. It needs an eye patch. That's so easy, the eye patch. The clockwork eye patch. No, I didn't envision him with the eye patch. Come on, man. But it's been super, it's just been really fun to write it. I feared that that it was going to be one of those things where I hit the ground running and lose steam, and like what DW was saying earlier, like kind of like get frustrated, lose interest. Another idea, typical. Another idea that doesn't go anywhere, and I was surprised, and just stayed focused on it. Take notes, write stuff, and hold yourself accountable for it. And that's kind of like what this is for. This video, I don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow or any other day after this. But this is a great way for me to hold myself accountable and have you guys as a witness. So that's cool. I do not expect this to happen overnight. There's so much I want to do and learn. Again, I'm going to be stealing so much from those Conan books. Check out this homie just... Hey, you guys want to see my pup? Let me see if I can show it. My dog. Oh, he's yawning. You know what it is? It's been bedtime, so... Oh, buddy, you leaving? He's camera shy. I was going to show you my dog, and he's like, I'm bouncing. Yes, that's awesome. They do say, this is what DW says, do a story you're really passionate about that can carry you through the trials and still be excited. Yes. And that's what's kind of been happening here. And my so-called villain has changed and adapted. My heroes have changed and adapted. Truths have been revealed. Lies have been said. You know, yeah. So I have a lot of writing to do. Like I said, I'm so there. It's so close to being. I have my ending. I have my climactic ending. I have the. Are you guys Wayne's World fans? I have the Scooby Doo ending. No, I'm kidding. The happy ending, the terrible, the realistic ending. No. But yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be fun as it happens. I don't like that. Yeah, it's gonna be cool. I wanna get to the point where, once all the writing is done and everything is taken care of, on that end, where it could just become, I don't want to say mindless drawing, but basically open up the pages and get my panels together, and that'll be cool. Little by little, page and panel by panel. Alright, I have to stylize his beard because I do not. Well, this is the cover, right? Or the pinup. So I can go as detailed and bananas and then simplify it later on. Be cool if I can paint this thing. Be cool if I can do anything with with this thing. Did I show you guys the finished inking of my Green Lantern and Steel that the amazing professional Chuck Gibson did? It's so cool. It was so cool to see it. He's such a cool dude. He has no idea. He's a bit older than most of us. And I try to tell him we're all close to each other in name. But, in name. In age? And I'm like, you have no idea how cool it is. How much of a nerd we all are. And that he was able to do that for me and with me. It was super cool. And he's like, yeah, we're all nerds, man. It's kind of like, yeah, get over it. This right page, or Turtel and Calbray. He's old, so liver spots? Nah, that's a little too much on the nose. We'll just add wrinkles to it. I gotta add more layer to the top lid to give it that tired look, right? I gotta start looking at more old dudes. Flood my my Pinterest with old dude faces. I guess I can give him the scar. Finally, I'll give him the scar on the eyebrow. Nothing cool as cooler. Normal names? No, not really. No Jeff. My name's Jeff. And that works. He's still kind of like, instead of Santa Claus, now he looks like an elf. Does the music affect the speed? No, actually, at this point, because these guys are more all set up, it really doesn't. But if am I drawing slower? Am I drawing slower? No, man. I think it's more of a state of mind anyway. I'm calm. I'm chillaxing, so that changes my mood a bit, but it doesn't change the intent. I think earlier I had the action adventure style music to get the feel for it, I guess. But I've been having these guys in my mind for some time, so I'm just happy that I'm able to kind of like come up with the look on paper. Finally. This is maybe the second time I do this character on paper. This dude. Oh yeah, I like Ming the Merciless. It's this, right? The soap patch, the overdone soap patch. If you're gonna steal. Familiarity is not bad. It's that eyebrow though, isn't it? It's too sharp. It's the eyebrows, man. I got wayward eyebrows. I got caterpillars. But he is old. But Ming the Merciless has a sweet goatee and long flavor saver. Ming the Merciless by the great Max von Sydow. That's pretty straightforward. What's a Von Terra's? The thing I don't know if I'm gonna do yet is if I'm going to do the eyes on this guy here. And he has more hair on his face. Ah. Gotcha. Yeah, I think the only one here that's going to probably evolve a bit more is this face in the center. Maybe. I might have to do one separate of the ghost here. Who's not really a ghost, as you can tell. He's just it's his presence. What has it been? Oh, it's been over 2 hours? Yeah. I really do appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I'm probably going to call it. It is 11:30 here, Eastern Standard Time. But when I do come back, we'll be working on our heroes here in the bottom. But I think I'm digging that very modern fantasy movie poster where it's just heads. And then we'll do the action shots of our heroes in the bottom. I gotta give somebody a hero chin. But I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Just gonna keep noodling around. I'm gonna let the jazzy jazz play me out. I appreciate you guys. Have a good night. I will see you guys tomorrow. This has been a very special Arts of the Round Table. Thanks for sharing it with me. My name is Mello. God bless you. I love you, mean it. And until next time, I will draw you later. Bye.